Hey guys, it's Brandon. Thought I'd play a 15-minute game. And we've got a Sicilian here. Started the commentary a little bit late. But only a couple moves in. Yeah, this is the sort of system these guys play, but it's really not particularly effective with this bishop coming back here to a2, trying to keep this bishop in for some kind of attack on the light squares, but like f7, etc. But this is not really playable, so I've been told by some strong players. So it's kind of a closed Sicilian. I can play d5 here, and see, d5, takes, bishop moves to a2. I could just play knight c6, or I can play b5 with tempo, bishop e7. Could play bishop e7. I'm going to play knight c6 just to hold up this e5. He actually could have played e5 before, and that may have been strong. I forgot that in the Khan sort of setup, you play this queen c7 move to stop e5 for when you play here. There's no pin on this knight, so I can move it. But knight g4 to e5, maybe? I don't know. I think I'll just develop. Anyway, in this closed Sicilian, the knight on f3 is usually on d4 because of pawn d4, c takes d, knight takes d, and then the e5 move is prevented by the queen on c7. But with the knight here on f3, he still could have played e5. So how to configure my pieces here? Oh, this is a blunder, because I can play d5, pawn takes, bishop, or can I not play d5? No, I can't. I can't play d5 because the square is hit twice. I was thinking d5 takes, and then d4, forking the two pieces, but he has just enough coverage of the he has the knight and the pawn covering the d5 square. And I have only the knight and the bishop. And I have only the bishop. But that could be a tactic for me in the future if this knight moves. So I'm going to just castle. The idea of d4 takes, and then either knight or bishop just takes, and I don't have enough coverage over it. So let's see what he chooses to go with. I think it would be unwise for him to try to castle queenside here, because my play comes very quickly with b5 and b4 hitting at this a3 pawn. So castling kingside, I believe, is correct. So how can I threaten this d5 move? I can play rook d1. Play rook d1, threatening d5, winning a piece. So he's got to do something about that. And if he does something like move the bishop back, I'm going to play probably b5, bishop b7. Yeah, so now I actually win a piece here. Right, let me just do the calculations. d5 takes, bishop moves, and then push. So this should win a piece for me, right? Does he have something else? I don't think so. So he takes, if he pushes e5, knight takes, queen takes. He still has to deal with this So d5 seems to win a piece for me here. Is my bishop hanging? No. So my bishop is not hanging in some line here on e7 with the queen opposite it, so that's fine. So, okay, he missed this tactic. Okay, he's going to get a pawn for the piece, but of course that shouldn't be enough. So, quickly getting a material advantage here. Yeah, but this just loses a pawn, and he's still going to have a problem. Right? Knight takes, queen takes. Is he gonna try to save a piece somehow? The bishop is still attacked. Can he attack my queen with something? I don't think so. So I guess the bishop is now actually pinned to the queen. No, it's not pinned because of yeah, but why can't I just go back to c7 now? And he still has this problem with this bishop. No tricks on my bishop on e7 because now my queen is back here covering it. So after, you know, like he tries to somehow finagle. Okay, now the question is, should I take the light square bishop or push forward with d4 and fork those two pieces? I think I'll take the light square bishop. Just because okay, well, I'll just use this free development tempo, I guess. Unless there's some move I'm missing here. I don't think so. I think I'm just up a piece for a pawn. I'm actually up a piece and a pawn because he sacrificed the pawn on e5 in some crazy attempt to hang on to the piece. Can he play bishop f4? Yeah, I mean... Okay, bishop takes knight. Bishop takes bishop. Rook takes bishop. Queen g4. No, he doesn't even have queen g4. I should be able to hold the position pretty comfortably that way. In any case, do I have anything stronger? Bishop g4. Attacking the queen. Okay, well, I can start with this to give myself a nice square on d4. As well as a target on d3. I can also play c4, threatening queen to c5 check. No, because then he just plays bishop to e3 to block the check and hold on to the piece. So that doesn't work. I could play queen d6, attacking the pawn, rook d1 to defend the pawn. b5 to gain some space. You can play something like king to h8 in case he tries this kind of sack, but I'm not really concerned about that. Rook d4. Bishop to e3. h6 to try to force this exchange. Hard to decide. Maybe I'll just double up rooks on the d file. It seems like a good plan. Attacking his weakness. On d3. Okay, he's playing a piece and a pawn down. So I just have to be a little bit careful. Any exchange is fine with me. He's now forced to take the bishop on e7. He has no choice. Because if he takes the knight with the queen, then the bishop on g5 just falls. That's correct. Do I have any good discoveries? It doesn't look like it yet. But what about now just doubling on the e file? And just a whole bishop up. Some combination now like bishop d5. No, doesn't work yet because, okay, he just takes the bishop. He has an open f file, but my bishop is nicely covering f7, so he just resigns. So yeah, just a little recap. This move bishop to c5 is really not very playable against e6 because of tactics like I described before, and the bishop really has no future on this diagonal, biting on granite on this e6 pawn. Maybe you could play something like f4, f5 to try to open the diagonal, but okay, this move is just question mark here. This tactic doesn't work right away, this tactic of d5, because he's got enough coverage on the d5 pawn. So now after rook d8, I'm threatening d5, and he doesn't see it. So d5, that was just a pawn sack. I don't know, maybe he was desperately trying something to hold on to the piece. Now here, actually, could have been, I think queen c7 was probably forced, or queen to d6, because something else, well, I mean, where else could I really go with the queen? Something else would probably lead to tactics like takes, and then the bishop could be hanging. If bishop takes pawn, pawn takes bishop. Maybe not. Maybe there's nothing there, but somehow the queen may be able to uncover some tactic here. But just keeping safe. Okay, taking the bishop and getting a piece out with development, and after that it was just trades are good for me here. So he resigned after rook to e8. Just absolutely nothing left for him to do. So okay, not much of a game, but hope you guys enjoyed it anyway, and we'll see you later.